They gathered in Palestine in the modern era. The idea of gathering the Jews into a state began in the Western world from the days of Napoleon Bonaparte's French campaign in 1799 AD, when he invited the Jews of Asia and Africa to join his campaign to build the old city of Jerusalem. He recruited a large number of them into his army, but Napoleon's defeat prevented that. Then the idea began to appear on the surface again, and many Western leaders and senior Jews began to be interested in it, and to establish many associations calling for this matter, and the actual planning began with the publication of Theodor Herzl, the Zionist leader in 1896 AD, his book, The Jewish State, where the Basel Conference was held in Switzerland in the year 1897 AD, and the opening speech of this conference stated, "We are laying the foundation stone for building the house that will house the Jewish nation." Then he proposed a program calling for encouraging a broad movement to Palestine and obtaining international recognition of the legitimacy of settlement. Among the decisions of that conference were, the establishment of the World Zionist Organization to achieve the goals of the conference, which also undertook the establishment of many public and secret associations. To serve this goal, the Jews studied the situation of the colonizers, and they found that Britain was the most suitable country for this matter, whose desire to place a disease in the middle of the Islamic nation loyal to the West, coincided with the Jews' desire for a national homeland for themselves, and most of the Arab countries were under its control, so they hatched a conspiracy with it, and they took it. A promise from Balfour, the British Prime Minister and then Foreign Minister in 1917 AD, in which he announced that Britain would grant the Jews the right to establish a national homeland for themselves in Palestine, and that it would strive to achieve this. The Jews had begun immigrating to Palestine at a time when Palestine was under the British mandate. Because of immigration, the Jews were able to form a state within a state, and the British government protected them from the oppression of Muslims and dealt with them with all tolerance, while it dealt with Muslims with all severity and abuse. When Britain was unable to fulfill the wishes of the Jews, it referred the matter to the United Nations, which is led by the United States, which in turn assumed the British role in the region. The United Nations sent its committees to Palestine, and then these committees decided to divide Palestine with Jewish planning and American pressure. The decision to partition Palestine was announced among the Muslims and the Jews on the 29th